Welcome to the Solana Summer Demo Day, organized by Sino Global Capital and Parafi Capital. For those that don't know me yet, I'm the Crypto Dog, a crypto trader, investor, and market commentator. I'm very honored to be here hosting this hackathon, and I'm excited to hear from all the projects today. This Demo Day brings together some of the top teams from Solana's third hackathon to showcase their innovative products and demos to the community. Participation in the Solana Season Hackathon was phenomenal. There was over 13,000 participants from almost every region in the world and 350 projects spanning DeFi, NFTs, Web3, and beyond. So a little bit about what we can expect today. There's no judges or winners. This event aims to educate the community, and specifically, we're going to illustrate the opportunities that Solana's high-performance infrastructure unlocks. We're going to showcase the benefits of composable building blocks and collaborative iteration. We're also going to connect developers, investors, and communities with high-quality projects, and we're going to be an example for future hackathon projects. So a little bit about this format. We have 13 awesome projects today that are going to be showcasing their demos. Each will have about 5 minutes to present their project and demo. And after that, if we have time, we're going to try and do 1 to 2 follow-up questions. Now, the aim here is to be supportive. It's a demo day. Things break, connections fail, wallets don't connect, et cetera, et cetera. It's all part and parcel of building awesome stuff. So audience can type questions in the chat. We're going to do our best to ask the best ones if we have time. So feel free and put those out there. Now, before we jump into the demos, we're going to be starting this off with a quick fireside chat about Solana. We're going to be hearing from Matthew Graham at Sino Global Capital, as well as Santiago from Parafi Capital and Larry from The Block. Oh, I apologize. No, we're getting Anjan. So sorry. Anjan from Parafi Capital. All right, guys.
Hey, guys. Happy to be here.
Investors, not just in Solana, but throughout the Solana ecosystem. And I'll tell you why we're so bullish on Solana. First of all, it's one of the most cleanly differentiated projects in all of crypto. But I think even more to the point, it opens up a whole range of new possibilities for crypto projects. Solana is an order of magnitude faster and an order of magnitude cheaper for transactions relative to the competition. So what we believe is that, number one, this is a project that is uniquely well tailored for supporting high frequency, extremely demanding fintech applications, fintech projects. And furthermore, we think that it will open up a whole new design space for projects that we really can't even imagine today. So it's tremendously important for us, and we think it's tremendously important for crypto too. It seems quite clear that the market is agreeing with this thesis, because we've really seen an explosion of innovation on Solana, and we have some of those projects representative of that innovation with us here today. So we're super amped, basically, for Solana and the resultant innovation.
Cool. Maybe I can go next. So I'm not going to be as bullish as Matthew just was, but I'm a fan of Solana as well. It's one of the few L1 projects that I'm actually watching seriously, and I think that's for a few reasons. One really big one is that they are actually using an approach to scaling that I think is feasible long term. There are a lot of other examples like Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, where the approach that they're taking is basically just stretching Ethereum, and it's good for short term, and it can scale short term, but long term it's really not. And Solana is taking a different approach. It's actually feasible, in my opinion, in long term. What still remains to be seen is how actually decentralized this network becomes. How many validators will be in the network in the long term? It's still not that many at this point. But there are definitely some good data sets to watch already where it shows that it is somewhat decentralizing already. Another reason why I find Solana projects interesting, and generally just the ecosystem, is that it's much more difficult to just fork an application. It's basically impossible because of a different language, and it's not EVM compatible, which means that the ecosystem by itself is just much more interesting to me. When you look at like Binance Smart Chain ecosystem or some other simple fork ecosystems, it always looks depressing almost, and it's full of rug pulls. It's full of exploits because it's just low effort teams that don't know what they're doing. With Solana, at least what I've seen so far is that it attracts better teams because they have to actually rewrite, and they actually have to kind of adjust everything so it works with Solana, not just literally just fork the code and then do a few things and have a token and then get rich from that. So that's another big reason for why I'm watching a lot of these projects. And just generally, obviously, also the support of FTX is important. We've seen the similar thing with Binance Smart Chain, where if you have a large backing of an exchange behind you and SAM as well, it drives a lot of capital, a lot of interest. And ultimately, for L1 network to take off, you need developers. And Solana seems to have that. Solana seems to be doing that well. So those are my points for why at least I'm watching it closely. And again, I'm not as bullish as Matthew, but I think it's definitely one of the most exciting ecosystems to watch right now.
Hey everyone, yeah, on our end, so at Parafi, we also see a multi-chain world, and we've been closely monitoring Solana for some time. We've invested in several applications, specifically DeFi applications built on top of Solana. I think what really stands out about Solana, building on the points that Matthew and Larry mentioned, on top of just the throughput, the composability you get at layer one, really the layer one scalability. I think what's been really interesting to see is just this developer ecosystem that's flourished, right? You've seen a number of new layer ones come to market, large ecosystem funds, a lot of resources being thrown at developers, but they haven't been able to build the same type of developer ecosystem. And I think that actually creates a lot of network effects, right? You don't want to be the first developer in a new layer one. You want to come in an existing and flourishing environment. And I think Solana has done a very good job. And I think stuff like this type of demo day and the hackathons, I think they had 13,000 submissions in last hackathon. I heard half, if not more, of the developers that signed up had never developed on a blockchain before. So it's kind of like these signals right here in this developer ecosystem they're building is quite interesting. And I think there's a number of applications we'll see built on Solana that just aren't feasible on Ethereum today. We'll have to see how that plays out in the layer 2 world, how that plays out in the E 2.0 world. But stuff like order books in DeFi or high throughput gaming, streaming, stuff tied to Audius or some of these use cases that aren't feasible on Ethereum today. And so we're excited to be deploying at the application layer and keeping a close eye on a lot of the developer ecosystem here.
Well said, and that actually is super consistent with a macro thesis that we actually we haven't necessarily seen super great examples of it yet, but we do have a macro thesis that some of the grand ideas that were kind of disastrous actually in 2017 because they were premature, crypto wasn't ready, the technology wasn't ready, the ideas didn't make sense, the teams weren't good enough, things like that. But some of those ideas that really flopped may actually be worth revisiting. So kind of consistent with some of the themes that you were hitting right there. That's a macro thesis for us. I would say it's more something that we're on the watch for. But certainly I think that if it happens, or to the extent that it happens, it's quite likely to happen on Solana.
Matthew, how are you guys thinking about the L2 ecosystem on Ethereum versus something like Solana? And do you think it's complementary, or do you think it's kind of, it's kind of one or the other?
That's a great question. I would say that we have a very multi-chain view of the world. We see, in our view, crypto is still across the board very early days. And it's, for the most part, not even close to being time for zero-sum competition yet. So we're extremely bullish on Ethereum, including L2. And so certainly there's going to be some overlap, right? But in our view, it's a multi-chain world. Certain types of applications and projects ultimately are going to gravitate towards either Solana or Ethereum. We think that although there will be a lot of replication, obviously a tremendous amount of replication on both chains, we do think that ultimately there we'll start to see some specialization where we'll start to kind of have a consensus forming. Solana is best for this, Ethereum is best for that, things like that. It's kind of similar to our decentralization centralization thesis, where in our view, both will continue to flourish, but ultimately we'll start to see increasing signs of, okay, this is where being more on the centralized end of the spectrum, it kind of makes sense. And for this type of application, really decentralization is where we want to be, things like that. So this is kind of our fundamental way of looking at the world, the crypto world. And of course, there's going to be some overlap, there's going to be some head-to-head, but I think, it's so early that there's room for both to flourish. I would phrase it kind of like that. How about you? What's your view?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think there are going to be some specialized use cases for Solana that we're not currently sure about yet. I think oracles could be a good one. It could be prediction markets, derivatives, just generally something that needs composability and scalability. I think L2 is obviously still super early. I've been a little bit disappointed with the traction that, for example, Uniswap is getting on optimism so far. I mean, it's still obviously super early on, but just generally, all these things were supposed to ship like Q1, and it's been 6 months later, and it's still kind of in the same spot. But generally, I'm really optimistic about L2s as well, and I agree with you. I think rollups are not perfect. They're still not ultra scalable. They're still not going to be able to handle everything. But I think both of them will coexist as well. Yeah.
I wanted to ask a quick question. This is more directed at Matthew, but anyone can answer. So outside or opposite, of the question about competition between the two chains, I'm really curious, do you see a future of composability between Solana and Ethereum, and what's that going to look like?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. I thought I was having a VPN problem for a second, which is a common China problem, obviously. So I think that this is a non-trivial issue from a technical perspective. I think that there's going to be a lot of people working on this. There's going to be a lot of resources thrown at this. I think ultimately it's going to happen, but my personal view is that it's probably going to take a lot longer than people think. That's kind of, I would start kind of at that 10,000 foot level.
Yeah, I would also add that I think like stuff like Wormhole that Solana is working on, right? This bridge between Solana and Ethereum is a good step in the right direction. I mean, I think right now you're seeing a lot of centralized bridges or centralized assets like FTX, for example, it's providing. But I think there's a case to see a few different bridges, including Wormhole. And then I think there's also stuff like Neon, which is building EVM compatibility into Solana, which I think kind of enhances Solana's profile and allows existing applications on Ethereum to benefit from Solana's higher throughput and potentially better layer one composability.
Okay, that makes
I
a
have
lot of sense.
another.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
I was just gonna ask another question to both of you guys, even to you, Doc. Maybe like, what are some of the projects that you haven't seen on Solana yet that could play a big role at some point? And I think maybe we will see some of those projects on this call later on. But just generally, what are some of the things that you wish someone was building that they're not yet? Yeah, it's a tough question.
That question was for Doc, or who was that question for? Sorry.
For anyone.
Man, first thing that came to my head was all the projects that I do know about. Let me think.
Yeah, like from my perspective, at least, I still think that I've said this a couple of times on Twitter, but I'm still like pretty surprised that there isn't a usable prediction market, not just for regular derivatives and like simple trading, but just for like sports betting, politics betting. Yep. I think like we've seen massive traction with the FTX betting markets around the elections. We've seen pretty good traction for Poly market as well on Polygon over the election, and it seems kind of crazy to me that, as far as I know, there isn't an alternative to something like Predicted, which has ridiculous limits and just generally isn't super user friendly. Yeah. So that's at least one project I would like to see, and I think Solana is definitely pretty good for building that because it requires scalability, it requires order books in most cases. But I just was wondering if you guys haven't seen some projects that you would like to see.
So I would phrase it like this. So I think it's natural because we're still early in Solana's evolution. So I think it's natural that a lot of what's going on right now in this first phase is replicating things that are already being done on Ethereum and such. And I don't mean to diminish that. It makes sense. It's a necessary step. But as I mentioned earlier, the throughput and the transaction cost opens up a whole new design space. And so what I'm really excited for is after this first phase where we're working on the low-hanging fruit and kind of replicating functions that have been done elsewhere, we're really excited for is people trying I think just almost unimaginable creative ideas, some of which will just suck immediately, they'll fail. But I think we'll have some tremendous innovation coming out of the fact that the design space is just so wide open compared to where we were at in 2017, 2018, 2021, and 2022 Solana. I think really are going to be explosive for trying new ideas. And so I'm not Balaji, I'm not a futurist, so I would kind of hesitate to say what those ideas, might ultimately be. But I'm super excited for people trying new stuff.
Well, one idea that comes to mind, and Larry, I agree on the prediction market side, is even on the onboarding side, right? Like you can build these applications at the base layer, but if you don't have these easy gateways or portals for people to use Solana, then a lot of this stuff doesn't really work, right? So what I'd like to see is a very user-friendly wallet that basically becomes a one-stop shop to use Solana, right? So you don't have to go from, hey, I'm staking my soul on one wallet, I want to use DeFi. It's like a one-stop shop to use Solana, because I think that's how you make Solana a true competitor to Ethereum, where the user onboarding is very frictionless. You can go from fiat into Solana, DeFi, and NFTs very quickly. Because if it's required, if right now it's really just built for the Solana or DeFi power user and not the mainstream user, which I think will hinder adoption.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we're probably going slightly over. But one last thing I'll share about Solana, which I think is pretty positive, is one of my biggest problems with it a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago or something like that, was that there was almost no infrastructure. Wallets, like you mentioned, there was no data service that you could just query the data like similar to Dune. There's no good explorer. I think that still needs to improve a lot. But generally, I noticed that has been a lot of improvement in the last 3 to 4 months. Phantom Wallet is pretty good. I've enjoyed using it, and there's also an alternative to Dune for Solana that's in early stages as well. It works pretty well, at least in my experience so far. So I think all of it is improving. All of it will take some time. I still think that the Solana team needs to nail the Explorer, because Etherscan is just such a big advantage. And when you have the EVM compatible chains, it's so easy to port it. And then people are already expecting this functionality, and unfortunately, Solana still doesn't have it. But I think generally everything is trending in a good direction. So I think, yeah, I don't have any other questions to ask you guys, but happy to still talk.
So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you anticipate is going to come out of this hackathon?
That's a good question. I don't want to prejudice in advance, but I can tell you there's one specific project that we are definitely interested in as Sino, and we'll be having some in-depth talks with. I'm excited to learn more about any of the projects today.
From my perspective, my biggest expectation is just to learn more about these projects. I still spend most of my time in the Ethereum ecosystem, and I don't come across that many Solana projects, but I know there's tons. And so for me, it's just going to be an opportunity to learn what people are building, see if some of these ideas are unique. What I'm going to be looking for is actually not just, I mentioned forks before, but not just copies of what someone was already trying to do on Ethereum, but actually trying to adjust to the Solana functionality. So making the applications a little bit more kind of built for Solana versus just replicating what's already been built on Ethereum. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But my biggest expectation is just to find some cool projects and to see what people are building on.
No, cool. I would agree with
plus we also have an existing Sino investment in the hackathon today too. But I don't want to distract from the other contenders, so I'm not going to tell you what it is now. I'll show it later. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one thing I would add is I think beyond the projects we'll see, what's really important here is understanding why these developers chose to build on Solana, because that's how you scale the developer ecosystem 50, 100x, right? The developers we see today in Solana is not the end all be all for developers. If Solana is really, if it does achieve its potential, we have to scale the developer ecosystem maybe 50, 100x, and understanding why these developers chose Solana, I think it's a good signal for the market and other developers looking to join the ecosystem.
Well, awesome, guys. I think it's just about time to go ahead and start our first project here in a couple minutes. Appreciate having you all on, and I think we're going to go to a little 30-second break.
Well, thanks so much, guys.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Everyone. All right, guys, welcome Zeta Markets. They are the premier under-collateralized DeFi options platform built on Solana. Very excited to hear from them.
Hey there, it's Erwin from Defi Land. Actually, we replaced that.
I apologize.
Last
Oh
second, but yeah, no
no, my
worries.
thing's mixed up. This is DeFi Land. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me back that up 2 seconds. All right, DeFi Land. You guys are a multi-chain agriculture. You can see the agriculture right here. Simulation web game created to gamify DeFi. I'm okay. This is really exciting. I love this picture.
Thanks a lot. Hey guys, I'm Erwin. I'm a team lead of DeFi Land, and we are gamifying DeFi in a pretty unique way, I would say so. The idea that we decided to gamify DeFi to create the better experience for non-crypto users, as well as just to make the better user experience for already existing customers as well. So what are we doing is basically we're gathering all the different protocols into the same place, adding another layer on top of them, which is basically our game, and gamifying the experience for them. So let's say whenever a player swaps different assets in our game, they will be actually swapping different kind of tokens in the serum. And also every single action in our game actually is an action on different kind of already existing blockchains. So you can think of us such as gamified Zapper, but we will be more like the game as well as time goes. So let me just show you around. So right now I'll be showing the demo that is kind of old, several weeks old. We won't be showing to the latest features for now, but let me just show you around what we have on the map and how it looks like. So it's kind of laggy, I believe, in the screen sharing, but it feels really well once you guys play the game itself. So right now we have some kind of these kind of land. We have some decorations, and also it's a sunny evening because at our time zone it's evening, and the day-night cycles follow your time zone. And let me show you around what we have, and we have several key buildings in our game. Here is a bank. Bank is basically lending and borrowing protocols. So whenever a player goes to our bank and does some stuff, they will be actually seamlessly interacting with lending and borrowing protocols on Solana, but in a seamless way. It's kind of locked for now, and it will be available in version 2. And also, all the different protocols going to have their own customized buildings with their own logos, with their own branding colors, and many different things. Here's a warehouse. Warehouse is basically where you just kind of provide the liquidity, and you receive the seed tokens, which you can plant here, which are basically the LP tokens. I'm not going to show you UI of the game, UI of the building, because we want to kind of leave it for next week as we approach the beta testing. Here's the market. Market is basically the place where you kind of swap different assets from one to another. It's running on Serum and Radium right now, and we'll be adding many other different protocols as time goes. But like it's just kind of swap your assets here. Here is a house. House is basically where you just kind of track your portfolio, how it has been performing over time, and just manage your assets. So let me just to give the old UI sneak peek here is that you can kind of track your portfolio over time and see how it has been performing, and there are going to be different tabs as well in this building. Here's a voting building as well, which is basically governance building for our protocol. Players will be able to govern our protocol through this building, and there are going to be many active proposals. So we get what players, what they want to see next, what they love, what they hate, and so on. And here's the tavern. Tavern is basically where you just have all these predictions and betting happening, which will be available in V2 as well. So it's kind of locked as well for now. And as you might have noticed, there are many different game objects in this build our land that aren't functional. The idea is that our lands are fully customizable, and they're going to be the in-game marketplace that people will be able to customize their lands through our DFL tokens, that you kind of customize their lands with different kind of assets like this. And also they're going to be some kind of funny and memes and different kind of stuff, such as you can see, said Pepe we have here. They're going to be many, many different things. And also we have some buildings. Actually, one thing I forgot is that every single game object in our game is NFT, and it is representing NFTs. They will be tradable through our marketplace. And different NFTs going to give you different kind of features as well. Let's say if this building right here going to give you plus 5% on yield farming. Some buildings going to give you the misery boxes, chances of getting misery boxes, and many different things. And let's go to the main one. Like here is a farming stage, so we can kind of plant some stuff here. You can kind of just experimental for you to get the idea. So you can plant this stuff, they grow, and you will be able to harvest them once they grow. Actually, as you know, we have the day-night cycles as well. As you see, it's the night. Like whenever the night comes to your place, it will be night here as well. We have this thunderstorms and the kind of weather changing according to your according to the market situation, as well as your location where you are and stuff like that. And you will be able to harvest like these as well. Like they're going to be many different animations that we won't be showing right now. And also really important thing is that we are having these achievements in our game that players will be able to kind of complete tasks and quests, and they're going to receive the prizes for doing so. So more you play, more you earn. They're going to be some kind of different mini games and tasks for the players to kind of compete with each other and kind of receive the prizes. And also, as you can see, like we have this prize feed here. They're going to be many different things. There's going to actually implement the FTX pay if you want to deposit to your wallet, and they're going to be many different things, and which we'll be showing soon as time goes. And that's just kind of quick run through our game, what we have and what we can show right now. We have more, but we'll be showing it as time comes soon. We will be having a beta testing version soon, and we would love to see you all there and kind of participate in the testing. So, and one more thing to add, we are having several job openings of our team. So please check the job board of the Sino Capital and just feel free to be. We would love to kind of see you become the team member of our game. So thanks for having us. I would love to kind of answer some questions if there are any.
Wow, incredible presentation. That was really awesome. I'm so excited. Sorry, I don't have any questions right off the bat, but it's just very impressive. You guys put together something really beautiful here.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that from you.
I think I'm not sure if we have any questions from the audience. Is anybody curious about anything? If not, I mean, everyone's just saying this looks like a ton of fun, super excited. So that's great. Great to hear.
I'm really glad to hear that as well. If anyone will have any questions, just feel free to directly message us on Twitter or Telegram or Discord. We would love to kind of answer any questions. And soon we will be having the testing version as well. And we would love to kind of have you all there, try the game out.
Sure. Could you tell your Twitter handle real quick for everybody?
Yeah, it's DeFi_land. It's DeFi Land.
Amazing.
Yep.
Very easy. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for having us.
All right, so we're going to do another. All right. We've got Slope Finance on here with us. They are building the future of decentralized exchange for community.
So we are ready to go. So
we are live.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. Yeah, can you see my screen right now?
I don't think so.
You can see it. So right now? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Yeah. Hi everyone. So I'm Lane from the PM from Slope Finance. So I'm here to have a presentation of our products for the demo as well. Well, so first I will thank the Solana hackers to give us a chance to do the demo introduction and to show our demo, to show our product. So first, like why we doing this Slope Finance? So we find three problems from the Solana ecosystem. So the first is like there are no existing cross-platform wallets, and then there are no existing stream-based DEX, and then no existing meta text based on the NFT Maze and Action platform adopt to mobile. So that's the reason why we built, we made the Solana, like the Slope wallet. So it's the first cross-platform wallet built for Solana. So based on the wallet, like we made the Slope DEX. DEX like is a cross-platform DEX based on the Ethereum for user to use. And other thing is like the NFT market, like used in the wallet. So it's the first mobile NFT action platform based on MetaPlex. So that's a brief introduction of our our wallet and our DEX. So now we're going to show you the demo to show how it works in the app. So I think there we're going to show the demo first. Yeah, so the first thing we're going to show you is like the DEX, the Slope DEX. It's quite a bit slow, sorry for that. Yeah. So the Slope DEX is the app for the user to do the to buy a token or to sell a token on this platform. So basically, we're going to show like we will notice like users to connect our wallet to use for the DEX app as well. So they can just create a new wallet or connect to our wallet. So this is the marketplace for users to have a look, like for the trading pairs. So once they click on specific tokens, so they can see like the open order book for the tokens as well. So they can just change the time to see, and they can just click buy or sell to make the transaction. So when they not connect any wallet, so they need to click on connect wallet to connect our sub wallet or other wallets. So for the sub wallets, like they can just input some like numerical words to do the import or the private key, and then they need to like do the set up the password for there to use the wallet as well. So once you click connect the wallet, so that you can just make any transactions in the DEX to buy or to put the price as a size, and click buy to do an order. So it's showing in the open orders. So when you click the sidebar, so you can just change the other different trading pairs as well. Yeah, so that's the thing you made for the transaction. So you buy a SOL, and it's showing in the open order as well. So once the transaction is made, so it will show in the history for user to see. So that's a little bit slow for the internet. Yeah, sorry for the waiting. Yeah, it's still a little bit slow, like maybe the network is not quite good. And then that's all for the DEX. So the next thing is the Slope wallet. So the Slope wallet, as we show you before, like user can create a new wallet or import their wallet by using their private key or the secret password. Yeah. So yeah, so they just show you like how to import a wallet. Like you can set name to import a new wallet in the app. So you can just add it like to manage your wallet in this one. So you can just click on specific wallet to see the details of this, and you can just enter the password to check your secret password to verify it, and also you can use the password you set before to check your private key. So and also in this one, in the wallet, you can just delete which one you don't want to use. And also we just build a connection part in the app for user to see like where they buy for the NFT, so they can just check every NFT they bought or they buy from the other web page. So we will show you here, so you can just check the detail as well. Yeah, and for the token, you can just click on specific tokens to check the details, the token details, asset you got, and all the transactions you made. Yeah, so quite be sorry for you getting the data. Yeah, that's all the transaction you get. So you can just see here. So that's all the we got for our Slope wallet and the Slope DEX.
Okay, so this is awesome because,
Yeah.
well, personally, I am a huge mobile power user. I do almost everything from my phone all the time. So I love that you guys are going mobile first, but I feel like it's not the move that most people make. So I'm curious, what was your reasoning and for going mobile first and doing it this way?
Yeah, so actually, we did some researches like that for the Coinbase, like 2.8 million like users, monthly transaction users, and 2.3 users use mobile app during the last quarter of 2020. So that's because of like lots of people using the mobile app to do their transactions and to use their wallet. So that's why we want to do everything for the mobile apps first to help users to use more easily and more like frequently in their daily life.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I'm always just trying to hop on something crypto while I'm out and about all the time. It's perfect. This is what I need.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also curious. Okay, so okay, you're starting here. What's kind of long-term vision though? What are you guys trying to have happen in the next 2 years?
So we have a roadmap. So it's all shown here. So from the next step, like we're going to make our Slope wallet and Slope DEX like more professional and more useful for users to use. So for from this month and last month, like we have made the Slope wallet for users to use, and the Slope DEX is only for the network testnet as well. But for the next month, like for we are going to like better integrate with other the apps in our Slope wallet, and our DEX will be can use in the mainnet for user to use as well. And also we will put an NFT market in our Slope wallet as well. And so
basically,
from the
by this time
Yep.
next year, we're kind of expecting I can do NFTs, I can trade futures, options, basically all of this different stuff from my phone, high throughput. Is that kind of what you guys are pushing here?
Yeah, we plan to do that. Like we plan to
Amazing.
make the app so to more useful for user to use, even for the wallet and the DEX.
Cool. Well, makes a lot of sense to me. I love it.
Yep.
Definitely excited to see you guys progress. Thank you so much for the time. Just about now we need to go ahead and move on to our next guys. But again, thank you so much, Lynn, for coming on. Really excited to see what
Thank
you
you so
guys
much.
push out over the next couple months. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no worries. Yeah, thank you.
All right, all right. Are we live? Are people listening to me? I bet they are. All right, so here we have Zeta Markets coming on. Zeta is the premier under-collateralized DeFi options platform built on Solana. I'm going to let Tristan take it away.
Hey, CryptoDog. Thanks for having me on and really appreciate the introduction. So as mentioned, we're obviously trying to build DeFi options based on Solana, and we're aiming to be the fastest, the most liquid, and most capital efficient solution out there. And so what's our goal? Fundamentally, we're trying to build that CeFi options trading experience that everyone loves, and we're trying to build that and bridge that to DeFi. And so we want to build a super efficient, non-custodial options trading platform. And we want to cater this to both institutional traders as well as more DeFi native liquidity providers. So what makes us really special? I would say our team makes us really special, as well as the product. We've now got 11 people on the team. Our backgrounds are all in traditional finance, traditional technology, and also prop trading. We also have a bunch of experience in professional options trading, full stack development, community management, and design. And so in terms of the platform, what are we building? We're trying to build this liquid, fast, and capital efficient CeFi alternative, and we want this to be able to scale to any underlying strike and expiry for our options market. And so I guess what are our innovations? We're not only building out this fundamental options framework, which has all your strikes, your expiries, and allows you to do auto settlement and rollover of options. We're really extending that. And we're trying to bring these super liquid options markets to our platform. This is a kind of problem that people have in the space. And we're building an on-chain options market maker, which quotes two-sided. This is also using Black-Scholes-Merton pricing equation. And this is kind of the gold standard in TradFi for options pricing. So we have the fairest prices out there. And we're also under collateralized, so super capital efficient there. We enable 10x leverage on our platform, which is awesome. You can kind of ape into it really easily. And that's because we have a real-time liquidation engine available on Solana. And we also do portfolio margining. And so jumping into, I guess, the live demo, hopefully it all works. I know DevNet has been getting slammed a little bit, but essentially this is our UI. If you want to learn how to trade options, we've written a bunch of guides here. And there's also a lot of educational resources. So we can go ahead and connect up our wallet. So I'll go chuck in my password for my Phantom wallet. And so we get this kind of onboarding flow, which essentially tells you how to get started with trading. It tells you a bit about options and what happens, I guess, fundamentally with an option. If you settle above the strike price at expiry, then you will cash out for this binary option at $1. However, if you're below, it cashes out to $0. We also have positions, and we can kind of just get started, and I can explain. So we can go ahead and create our options account here. We have our graph of all the trades on Serum for Solana here. And on the right-hand panel, we have essentially the options trades that we can put on. So we've got our available balance in our wallet. We can see the current option group is going to expire at 1 in Australian time. And we've got about 11 minutes left on the clock until that goes through. We can also see the Sol USDC price here, which is coming from Pyth's Oracle. So we get both real-time kind of price feed as well as the price confidence interval here. And then we've got our strike board, as you can see. So all your different strikes. So we might want to go for something that's a bit closer to an at the money strike, say the 28.2 we might select here. Then we have options to either go long or go short on this option. We have the price here, as you can see, and we can go ahead and put on a trade. So as I mentioned, we can put up a trade up to 10x leverage. However, that's a bit degen. So let's go with something a bit safer for now. Let's go with a 1x, and because we're not leveraged, you can see we don't have any liquidation risk. Collateral required is how much margin we essentially have to post, and this is how much we set to make if we expire in the money, i.e. above 28.2. So I can go ahead and buy that option. So now if you go down here, we can see our positions have come through. This trade has just come through. We can see the P&L on it, and we can go ahead and actually buy another one. We can go for a sell here, for example. Let's put on leverage. Let's maybe put it on a 2x there and go ahead and buy that. You can see everything is updating in real time. You can see the prices, kind of your liquidation prices, as well as all your positions updating on a per second basis. And you can see now we have a second position in there. And so our account metrics here basically gives you an aggregation over all your positions. So we can see what balance we're in our wallet. We can see our unrealized P&L. We can look at our account health, which is basically how close we are to liquidation. And then the other bit we think is really cool is this gamified aspect of our platform, which is the leaderboard. And so this will show all the top traders ranked by P&L. As we can see, our P&L is not incredible at the moment because we just gotten started, but some people on the platform have been doing incredibly well and they're up the top of the leaderboard. We can see all the live trades going on the platform globally as well. And that's pretty much the demo of the platform. In terms of other things to conclude there, basically our roadmap is to move away from just pure binary options. Long term, we're building out a full European cash settled options platform. And that's something that we're going to be building and integrating with the CRM DEX as well over the next couple of months. So hopefully by end of Q3, we're going to have that on DevNet. And then post code audit, we're going to have that on mainnet in Q4. In terms of hiring, I guess we are scaling our team. As I mentioned, we're at 11 people, but we're looking for someone who's an absolute gun at BD. We want someone who has that serious hustle and knows crypto like the back of their hand. And they're going to be instrumental in helping us grow Zeta into a top tier DeFi protocol. Also, if there are any extremely experienced backend Rust and Solana devs, we'd love to talk to you because you guys are definitely in very high demand.
Looks awesome, Tristan. Looks really, really awesome.
Thank you.
Looks like I've got just one question from Bitcoin Dunny in the chat. He has said, are there longer term expiries?
Longer term, yeah. So right now we're just doing half hour expiries, and this was just out of simplicity. We definitely look to list a bunch of different ones going forwards when we have our full options platform. So we'd have some shorter term ones. I think for people who are a bit short term and like to play with, I guess there's like near horizon options. And then we'd also look for people who probably want to hedge out longer term positions, have stuff that's probably a few weekly ones, monthly, potentially quarterly, depending on the interest.
Sure. Okay, so I did want to ask this. So you guys are, options are definitely more of a niche thing for I think most people. Do you guys envision the average DeFi user to be able to benefit from your product, and how would that look?
Yeah, absolutely. We think there's a big market and a big demand for that. You've obviously seen platforms like Robinhood absolutely kill it in the last couple of years. And so I guess on our product, there are two ways that we envision like people using options. One is obviously a super fast, cheap, and leveraged way to speculate on coin prices. That's basically what our platform enables. You've got basically rounding error in fees. Everything executes, as you could see, very quickly. And we've got leverage up to 10x, really cool. So it's very efficient. And then the second one is managing risk on your portfolio. I think that's what options are typically used for in traditional finance. And I think from the DeFi space currently, there are not that many robust hedging solutions. And I think this is really important in a volatile market. You want to have ways to manage your risk. If I've got a massive Bitcoin or Solana position and the market nukes, I don't want to be completely exposed to that. I want to be able to essentially buy a put and essentially buy like fixed price insurance against those negative market movements.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, we got a few questions here. Are you guys? I'm sorry. Let me try to catch up with all of them. Is the front end source code open source?
Not at the moment, but we're definitely considering, I think, open sourcing it and having a few people host the front end. That's definitely something that's on the roadmap.
Cool. Someone's asking about revenue. How do you guys make money?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So I guess for people who would be liquidity providers on the platform, you would be providing to this options market maker strategy, and then any kind of P&L and trading fees that you'd get off that would go straight back to the liquidity providers there. We also want to integrate our native token, which will be, I guess, launching towards the end of the year. And that will be going towards kind of volume-based rewards for people trading on the platform, as well as decentralizing our backend. So people running liquidation scripts, price update scripts. We don't want to be running that whole backend. We want to, I guess, broaden that to the community, and we reward people for doing so.
Cool. All right, we got one last question. What types of data feeds are you guys using for market data?
Yeah, great question. So at the moment, we're just using Pyth Oracle spot prices, and that's going into our Black-Scholes calculation. Eventually, we're going to want to maintain our own dynamic volatility surface, which will go into the calculations there, and we might also integrate that with Deribit's kind of implied volatility index.
Makes a lot of sense. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for answering all the questions, and thank you for this presentation. And we're going to go ahead and go on to the next guys. Thank you, Tristan.
Likewise.
Really
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. See ya.
Cheers.
Great.
Hello. Welcome back, guys.
Hello, guys. Yeah, glad to
Here we
be
have
here.
Francium. Sorry, let me let you go. Sorry, I apologize. Go for it.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, it's L from Francium, and you may have heard about us at Solana Sino Hackathon. And we have won the second place in the East Asian category and the Kim Prize, and we are also the top 5 popular project voted by the community. So Francium is the first leveraged yield aggregator on Solana, and the leveraged yield farming is our basic function. And we achieve this with a Bayesian learning model like Alpha on Ethereum. And on top of that, we are trying to build a community where our users can create and share their DeFi strategy so that we can keep delivering a sustainable yield. So this is the main structure of Francium. Our users can simply farm, or they can choose between different strategies like yield farming, liquidity mining, and the DeFi combination strategies, which allows you to interact with different protocol and trading strategies like indicator analysis as a learning pool, going to amplify your yield. But building a strategy is not that friendly for everyone, right? So we choose to design a dev toolbox so our users can build their own strategies without knowing anything about coding. So you can just drag those strategy blocks, like building Legos, so they can easily build their own strategy with our dev toolbox. So we can bring the strategy to all of the DeFi users. And another interesting part is our strategy NFT. We will mint an NFT for every strategy. So the trading fee will be sent to the NFT holder address. And actually, you can do a lot of more interesting things with the strategy NFT. And if you are interested, I can explain this part in detail later. So now let me show you our the app. And it's going to be online right after the demo. So at that time, you can try by yourself. And there are 2 main functions you can try with our beta version, farming and learning pool. So let's farm first. And this is our farm page. And that's all of the LP token pairs you can farm, and their APY and APR in different leverage. So let's take medium and USDC as an example. If you want to farm this, you can just click the farm button here. And on this page, you can specify the amount of money you can stake. Oh, forgot to connect with the wallet, sorry. Yeah, once you connect the wallet, you can see your balance here, and you can specify the amount of USDC you want to stake into our farming pool. Let's say 40. And you can also adjust the leverage here. Let's make it 2.5. And you can also set up a stop lose position. And this is one of our security designs. It can help our users to reduce their risk when the market becomes unpredictable. Let's make a 60. And you can also review your APR and APY here. So there is a commonly asked question. So why the APR and APR are different? So for us, we have the auto compound features, which means we're gonna harvest your earning and reinvest them into the farming pool every day. So our APY is like a accumulation of APR. So that's why the APY is much higher than the APR. So if you are happy with our APY, you can click the farm button here and approve the transaction and wait for the confirmation of Solana mainnet. And after that, you can see your position here. You can invest more token by clicking this plus button here. And you can also withdraw by clicking the withdraw button. Here, I'm going to withdraw all of them. No. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is how you can farm with Francium. But if you are going for more stable income, you can try our learning pool. So when our users are doing leverage yield farming here, they're actually borrowing money from our lending pool. So part of the APR going to be repaid to our lenders. So now we only support USDC, but later we're going to support more assets, and we also have a dynamic borrowing interest rate. So in short, it's higher the utilization and the higher the borrowing interest, and it's going to help us to rebalance, the demand and supply relationship. And the APR are going to be higher when we offshore online. And so if you are happy with the APR, you can click the investor button here and do just what we have done before. And let me show you, this is the beta version of our app. And let me show you our roadmap. So just right after the demo of leverage the yield farming and the lending pool going to be online. And you can try, our apps by yourself at that time. And in the following 4 months, from our functions like our initial strategy platform and the strategy NFT, they're going to be online. And in the first half of the next year, the strategy delta box and the strategy social trading platform will be online. And in the third season, the visual strategy delta box and SDK will be supported and optimized by our system. So this is Francium currently. So do you have any questions or feedbacks about our product?
All right, so I do have a question, and I want to know why Francium?
Yeah.
Where's the name come from? That it's an interesting name.
All right, Francium is like, it's one of the element. So you can find this element, it's a chemical element. So it's the most active metal element actually. So, we choose this name because, our product is just like the most active metal elements. You're going to bring some more of the, a lot of innovation to the
That's fun.
ecosystem.
Okay, that's really cute. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's why we choose
that's fun.
this name.
Cool. Well, okay, my second question, I got a more harder question than that. I wonder if you guys, well, it's not too hard to worry, but I'm curious, what makes you guys different from other leveraged yield protocols? What do you guys feel is your special little sauce?
Yeah, so we are not only a leveraged yield farming aggregator. We also allow our users to to integrate their leveraged yield farming with strategies. So they can doing the leveraged yield farming style, like in which price range they farm this token pair, and in another price range they farm the other, and they can also doing the liquidity mining, and with our fabulous Oracle, past Oracle, they can even do the trading strategies with the indicator data they feed us. So that's what will make us different. It's a strategy trading part.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think our time on this one's up. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing this with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
By the way, you can also, if you got any more questions, you can follow our Twitter. It's Francium_DeFi. Yeah.
Francium_DeFi. Sweet.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. See ya. Cheers.
All right, guys, we have All Art Protocol here today. We're going to be hearing from Vitomir and maybe Marco as well, if he's on. All Art Protocol, they bring constant liquidity and embedded license rights to the NFT space with a set of composability tools to DeFi in the whole NFT market. So I'm going to go ahead and let Vitomir take it away.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for inviting us. So let me start off by saying that what we are trying to do is something really different. We are trying to DeFi the whole NFT space, and I'll show you how. So we are basically changing the paradigm of the NFT space, and we are bringing license rights and constant liquidity to the world of NFTs. We are doing this by, first of all, putting on-chain metadata standard, which is in line with the international standardization for, of course, documentation. We are then embedding multiple licenses in one NFT, and we are creating a liquidity pool for each of these NFTs. Then we are building on top of that a lot of services for easy integration in apps and games. So how it works is that we have the NFT Pro, as we call it, with the standardized on-chain metadata. So they're not stored in the JSON files off-chain, but they're actually embedded in Solana's accounts on-chain. Then each NFT Pro has its own lords, what we call a special type of tokens, license ownership rights tokens. And then we have multiple licenses, which are embedded inside of these NFT Pros. And then once you buy a license with lords, because lords are used to buy licenses, you get a license receipt token. So lords are not fractions of NFTs. They are actually a utility token for each NFT used to buy the licenses. So we put lords then inside NFT Pro special type of liquidity pools, where we are using our art token as a leverage, actually as a collateral in the pools. So you can imagine that actually every NFT will have its own pool and its own licenses. So this is the infrastructure that we have, and it's quite complex, but you can see that the protocol layer is something that is on Solana chain. And then we have the services that are built for this protocol. One of them we released publicly, it's Unity Solana Wallet. Now we are building an universal API for NFTs. Then we will create NFT price oracles, which is something completely new in the sector. But then we have the, of course, let's switch to web interface, where we have the creator, explorer, collection manager, and profile manager for all the NFTs on the protocol. I'll show you now, of course, how this all works. Let's do a demo. Just a second. Okay, so we are now in the NFT Pro creator. We can connect our wallet. And when we connect the wallet, we first create our account. So I'll just upload a picture and say Hank, full name, Hank, whatever. Country, let's say UK, and the bio, something, whatever. So we don't waste time. So once we create this account, oh, sorry, actually this is mainnet. It will not work on the mainnet yet. So let's do this again. Okay. Yeah. So once we create the account, we are then connected with our account to our wallet, and then we can start creating the art piece. So I'll just show you, this is an interesting thing. We have 3D also preview, but we can, okay, let's say test, just some form of a description. And then we will add licenses. And this is an interesting thing. So we can have like a private item license. We select license that goes with this. We have different licenses like public display, commercial public display, non-commercial public display, reproduction. But let's make first a private item. And then we can add one more license, which is a public item, which means that I can show this art piece publicly. So this is a public display, but let's say we want to not commercially use it. So we just select non-commercial public display. So we create this license, and then we put a price in art coins let's say, to have 10 limited edition private items, and I want to have like 3 public items. Then we calculate how much lords each of the licenses cost, and we upload the file for each of these licenses. But I will maybe use this file because it's just a smaller file. And then I'll also change this 3D thing for a normal image. And then we mint the piece, approve the transaction. And waiting for the mint. Okay, so we now have a mint. This is our address on the Solana blockchain, and we can now go and explore this piece. So it's giving us NFT Pro Explorer. This is almost like Solana Blockchain Explorer, where you enter your hash here, but you can see the piece here with all the private items, public items, lords, how many lords are where. Actually, at the beginning, 100 lords are placed in the pool and 50 lords are placed in the artist's pockets. And you can see here all the licenses. But anyway, these two are just a dummy objects showing what it will look like in the future when we have the trading. So next thing that I want to show you is Solar Marketplace. This is a marketplace that we will release on Solana. It's an NFT marketplace that will work with our protocol. And you can see the whole marketplace is basically already created. We are just now, I mean, you can see the artists, you can see the artworks. And what I will now show you is, okay, so for example, this artwork, if you want to see it on the NFT Explorer, you click here and then you can see it. Yeah, and then you can see also different statistics. So anyway, back to this. If I want to collect a specific marketplace, I'll show you how liquidity pools work. And you have here, you can select different license, and then you can see the price of the licenses and all the license rights that go with it. And here in the pool, you can buy lords directly, almost like every liquidity pool. And if I buy, of course, I have to connect wallets to do this. So let's do this. Okay, I have some art coins here. So let's buy 10 lords, for example. And then you can see I have 10 lords here. And then actually I can activate the license. So you can see that with 10 lords, price in lords is 5, 6, and 20. So I can actually activate these licenses with only with the lords that I have. So I can just activate the license. Yeah. And now you can see, oh, sorry. Let me just refresh. I haven't connected the wallet. Just a second. Okay. And you can see that I bought a private use license. So we will now switch to a VR presentation of what, can you switch the screen to Marco, to sharing with Marco?
Let's see what we can do.
Sorry?
Sorry, I just.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Let's then share the screen. Okay, do you see everybody?
Looks good.
It's good? Yes?
It's
okay.
great.
Okay.
Marco is in VR.
Yes.
With headset.
Right now I'm in VR. Okay, so I will go to my host, Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello, Marco. It's nice to have you here. Would you like to purchase this painting?
Yes, I just want to shake a little hand so you can see. Okay, let's go to my wallet.
Of course.
Okay, everything is looking very, very good. Perfect. Okay, so let's go to the painting. I can see that I can collect it, so I will click on collect. Thank you, Tom, for your time.
No problem.
Okay. Yes, it's need a little time. Now I'm on this screen. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Marco.
Okay.
Thank you, Marco. Hey, real quick, guys, I just wanted to ask a quick question. Someone in the chat said something that I just thought would be a good question to ask. They said, could we get an ELI 5 or an explain it like I'm 5 for your project? So how would you explain your project real quickly to like a 5-year-old?
It's not an easy thing to answer. It's so what we are doing is we are building liquidity pools for the whole NFT space. So each NFT will have its own liquidity pool. On top of that, we will have license rights, which are something that does not exist yet in the NFT space, which means that you will have a kind of a contract of sales of NFT. So once you sell an NFT, you will actually have a contract embedded into that NFT so that the new owner actually knows what rights he has and what rights he doesn't have. And liquidity pools will function like a market for each of the NFTs. It's like building a serum or a DEX for the whole NFT space, if this makes any sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, that last part makes sense. Although I'll admit I'm not a 5-year-old, and I think we need some really smart 5-year-olds to get all that. But that's okay. It's okay. Thank you for that that little extra explanation. That is appreciated. I guess I just got one more little question, and this is more of kind of a general question. I want to hear what your long-term vision is of the NFT space, and particularly how Solana plays into that, how you guys are trying to fit.
Well, if we if we succeed in doing what we plan to do, as making a DEX for all of the NFTs, then we will have a very specific situation. Money will flow into the NFT sector. This is what we usually say. It will not flow through the sector, because now when you sell an NFT, you're basically sending money from one wallet to another. No money is left inside of the NFT space to provide liquidity. But with this new approach, the money is actually locked inside of the NFT space, so that people that are trading the NFTs can have more and more money locked inside for the liquidity. So you can imagine that what we think will happen is we will have a growth like a DeFi sector happened like 2 years ago. We will have the same growth in the NFT sector in years to come. So more and more people will come to the sector to actually collect, but also to trade with the NFTs, because there will be secondary market. It will not be a secondary market. It will be perpetual liquidity of NFTs.
Well, that's exciting. You're clearly very bullish, and I love the energy. That's awesome. Okay, I've got just one last question. This is kind of like a little brag. You guys, someone said you guys have done so much work. It's amazing. How big is your team?
Well, it's currently 17. No, actually 19. Sorry, we got two new people, so it's 19 people. But there are many different people, because we are also VRO art company that developed all our protocols. So there are like 3D modelers, there are animators, there are also, of course, programmers, developers, but also social media, SEO, and so on.
Cool. Well, that sounds like you guys are running a pretty good crew. Thank you so much, Vitamir, for coming on and showing us all this. This is really neat. I'm really excited. Oh, I need to be asking this of everybody. Could you go ahead and share your guys' Twitter handle?
Yeah, sure. Where you want it in?
You can just say it out loud, and someone's gonna share it in the chat, I bet, or I will if no one does.
Yeah, this is all our protocol.
Amazing. Someone's got it. It's all art protocol. That easy. ALL art protocol.
Yes, and all art is this.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and take another 30-second break. Really appreciate you coming on, and excited to see what you guys continue to build.
Yeah,
thank you.
We will, for sure. Bye.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We've got UNQ Club here, which is a platform for NFT collectors designed to help them build communities, fundraise, and operate NFTs across multiple blockchains. I'm gonna go ahead and let Alex take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm a co-founder of UNQ Club. With me is Urosh. He's another co-founder and our CTO. So like Doug said, UNQ Club is a platform for NFT collectors. We believe that in order for the market to thrive, it's not just the supply side creators who need to have the tools to achieve their goals, but also the demand side, so the collectors. Our goal is to provide them with the most important tools to succeed: community, funds, and a single interface to buy and sell NFTs across blockchains and protocols. Today, we will demonstrate how the platform works, not all of it, but just some important aspects. Experienced collectors can open clubs, which are basically DAOs. They can build communities in those clubs and raise funds from them. Of course, security is paramount here, so we will show a new way to raise funds via staking. People can stake different tokens in a club, proceeds from staking go to club's treasury, and as a reward, people receive club tokens that represent their participation. Funds from the treasury can be used to purchase NFTs for the club, so we will show a purchase of an Ethereum-based NFT which will be transferred into club's vault. Urosh, stage is yours.
Thank you, Alex. So I'm going to demonstrate the two main features of the UNQ.club and basically the two different aspects. So the first one will be the aspect of the club curator. So I have opened the page of a specific club here on UNQ Club platform. I'm going to collect the curator wallet. And as soon as the curator's wallet is connected, I have an option to buy an NFT. And buying an NFT for this particular club is easy as clicking this button, entering the address of the NFT which we want to buy, and entering the amount of Ethereum that we wish to give for that NFT. After clicking buy, we need to approve several transactions that are actually creating the unique trade request in the backend of our platform. And we get a unique link which can be copied and given to the current NFT holder. The current NFT holder can then go to this unique link and can see what are the information or what he needs to do, where to send the NFT in order to receive that one Ethereum token. And besides that, he can actually directly here on our platform approve the transaction over the MetaMask. So I will confirm this transaction over here. I get the transaction hash, and as soon as the transaction has finished, successfully finished, that NFT is transferred to that club's, to that specific club's vault. The other aspect that I wish to show here is the aspect of the possible supporters. So I'm going to connect a different account right now. So I'm connecting the UNQ Club supporter account, and that account actually is not the curator of this club. So the action that he can do on this page is actually to support the club, and supporting the club is done by staking a specific amount of SOL at this point. So I'm gonna enter the amount of one SOL, and after I click support, I will basically go over with the transaction of staking the one SOL, and this specific user has been given one newly minted club token, so the newly minted token for this specific club. And basically those are the main features that we wanted to show for this demo. Of course, you can go to unq.club and check everything live.
Thank you, Urosh. And so a bit on our roadmap. Now we are partnering with various staking protocols for obvious reasons. We need as much staking as possible for what Urosh just showed. Also, we're looking for partners who can help maximize revenues for clubs via different applications for NFTs, because our main goal is to help people turn collecting into full-time businesses. So, for example, we are partnered with All Art Protocol exactly for that reason. We're also building an interoperability solution that we call Mission Control. This will allow people to operate NFTs across blockchains using a single trustless interface. We are talking to many collectors in both NFT and traditional worlds to onboard them for our private beta, which is scheduled for the end of September or beginning of October. So if you feel like there is a space for collaboration between you and UNQ Club, feel free to reach out to us. And the final note, we are currently rebranding the whole thing. So it's really just a demo. And we are also building a mobile version. Thank you.
Hey guys, I just wanted to ask, someone in the chat asked, and I realize it's a great question. Okay, I know you're doing a rebrand, so maybe it changes, maybe it doesn't, but I'm curious where the name UNQ comes from.
Because it's unique, right? I mean, NFT is a unique thing. So it's
haha,
really
that's
straightforward.
cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys. And then I'll just ask again. I asked a previous NFT project, but I want to ask you guys, what is your, long-term vision for NFT and the NFT industry, and also how Solana plays into that?
As for the NFTs in general, obviously we're very bullish on that. That's why we are building this platform. But that's one of our concerns, and one of the things we're trying to solve is that there is a lot of supply right now, a lot of marketplaces, a lot of minting tools, and so on. So we have a lot of NFTs, but there is not much done on the demand side, right? So we are trying to resolve that to actually to help markets, stabilize and move forward on a neck-breaking speed, right? So yeah, that's our view on the market in general. Well, when it comes to, for example, our goals and what we want to achieve, we obviously want to take the market over, because we believe that we have potential to do that, since we are just approaching the whole problem from a different side, right? We are building kind of B2B2C platform and using the power of DeFi, so different existing protocols, to actually power up the NFT market. We've been doing some calculations, and conservatively, if we capture 2% of DeFi market, it's gonna boost buying pressure on NFTs by 20-25%. So that's our goal.
Cool. Yeah, that's bullish for NFTs. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Before I let you go, I'd love to get your Twitter handle for everybody out there.
It's Club UNQ.
Sweet. Easy enough. All right. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and cut to a 10-minute intermission now before we have our next guests on. Before we cut, someone in the chat mentioned that they really wanted me to say happy birthday to Jenna Tools. So happy birthday, Jenna. And I think we're ready to go ahead and go on to the intermission. Unless you guys have anything last to say about UNQ. Are you guys good?
Yep, that's it. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are gonna now have on the guys at Sonar Watch. Sonar
Yeah, hi.
Watch lets you, sorry, one moment, let me do a little intro. Sorry about that, guys. Sonar lets you track your yield farming and liquidity pool performance on Solana blockchain. Again, I apologize, I'm so slow at this. All right, guys, take it away.
Okay, thank you for having us. We are really excited to be here, and hi to the chat also. So I think the simpler is that we give you a small demo of Sonar for those who don't know the tool, and I will give Oliver the hand to do that.
Yeah, so the aim of Sonar is to track your yield farming. So quick example here. So as for example, if I am a Solana yield farmer, I have some Orca LP token here. We can see that I have some USDC, USDT LP token, some Sol USDC LP token. And as a good Solana yield farmer, I have also some LP token on Radium. And as we can see here, I have some tokens staked on the Fusion pools. So if I want to track all my assets, my DeFi assets, Solana DeFi assets, I can go to Sonar.watch. So first of all, this is all mainnet live. So just after the stream, you can check it out directly on Sonar.watch. And for example, you can paste your public key here, or you can also connect your Phantom wallet. So in this example, I will connect my Phantom wallet. And just after that, I'm redirected on the main page of Sonar dashboard. So the dashboard page with several sections, just like that. So the first section is the history section. So with this section, you can see the whole net value of your portfolio price net value evolution up to 3 months in the past. So yeah, that's basically the idea of this section. The next section is basically your token you hold. So here I can see that I have all this token on my wallet. I can click on a line to expand and see the price evolution. So USDC is not a good example as it's a stable coin. But for example, for the Ray token, I can see the price evolution up to 3 months. So yeah, that was the wallet token section. The next section is the liquidity section. So this will list all your LP tokens that you hold on your wallet. So this account. And we can see here that this is the assets that we can see on Orca here. And they are listed on the liquidity section. So for each line, you can expand the line and you will see the price evolution. So yeah, for this one also, that as it's a stable pool, USDT, that's not a good example, but I can expand the ROP SOL price. So this is the LP token price. This is not ROP price or SOL price. This is the ROP SOL LP token price evolution up to 3 months. We can also see the TVL of this Orca pool and also the supply up to 3 months each time. Yeah, we can see that we have some Oxy-Ray LP token. Same thing for yield farming section, which is the farm. So here we have some Sol farm assets as we staked on a Sol farm, and also some Radium. We can always click and expand it, and we will see the price evolution of the LP token. We will see the TVL locked in the farm, the supply, and the APR evolution up to 3 months as always. Next section is the MISC section. So in this section, you can see your SOL staking. So in this line, I can say that I have opened one SOL delegated in this validator. So if I click on it, it will open a smaller tab with the validator info from Solana Beach. And the last section is for lending and borrowing. So we can see that I have some Parrot lending and borrowing, and also a Mongo account. So in this, if I click and expand it, I will see all the Mongo asset from the V2. So we can see that I have deposited 0.1 SOL and I've borrowed some USDC. Same thing goes for the Parrot protocol. Here we can see that I have deposited some USDC. So to be clear, this is all live mainnet. So you can just after the stream go and check your account with that. Quick part on the collectible page. So here we can see all the NFT you hold. Currently, we do not support Metaplex, but it's coming in the coming weeks. And we also have a small NFT creator, so you can quickly create an NFT. You can here choose the file. Let's say not much original, but the Sonar logo. I will set a supply of one and just approve the transaction. So from that point, it will take up to 30 seconds to freshly mint your NFT. And just after that, we will be able to see it on the collectibles page. So yeah, we will wait a bit more here. and just after that it will be available. So for the moment, this is not a MetaDex NFT, but we will make the transition in the next few weeks. So yeah, the NFT freshly mint. So if I refresh the page here, yeah, I can see my NFT that I just created. So just after that, I can set it to any of my friends and things like that. So yeah, this was the Sonar presentation, and I don't know, guys, if you have some questions.
No, that was awesome. I'm scanning for any questions. Okay, here's someone said, how does Sonar make money? Okay,
so for the moment, we are focused on the product first. So there is no source of money here, but we are planning something. But yeah, this is for the moment. We hope that the community will grow as much as possible, and then we will be able to have some revenue in a way. We don't know. We don't have officially announced anything yet, but yeah, it's on the pipe, guys.
Sure. Okay. Someone else also asked, how are you guys funded?
Maybe Guillaume, you can answer that. But
if we are funded, you asked.
I think someone was just asking how you guys are funded, but
well, for now we are not. We are like mainly focused as Oliver explained, mainly focused on improving the tool right now.
Yeah, and I see in the chat someone asking for Saber. Yeah, guys, we heard you on the Discord. A lot of asking about Saber. This is on the pipe coming in at the end of the week. We know everybody is asking for Saber. It's on the pipe, guys.
Wow, you guys have a lot of fans in the chat. Love to see that. That's really awesome. For
yeah, thank you guys for the comments.
I was going to ask if you guys could just also hit the Twitter. Yeah, a lot of people are big fans. It's amazing. I love that. I really love to see that. But yeah, what is your guys' Twitter handle too, so I can share for everybody who doesn't have it?
Sonar Watch, just at Sonar Watch.
Sweet, super easy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is really impressive, guys. You know what you're doing, it looks like.
Yeah, just quickly, we are searching for a backend developer and Node.js. So if you have experience in Node.js and backend development, especially in API, please check the Sino job page, and we will be happy to collaborate.
Yeah, and also seeing that someone is asking for mobile responsive. So yes, this website is also focused on making sure that you can use it on mobile. So it is kind of mobile friendly, and we make sure that every single part of your wallet and your dashboard is readable in a mobile version.
Sweet. Well, this is really cool, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and show everybody. Really, I need to start using you guys' platform more often, clearly, because everyone else is. What am I doing? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good day.
Cheers. All right, here we are with Jet Protocol, which is liquidity re-engineered for the modern blockchain. Jet offers the most competitive C ratios and borrowing and lending rates. We're going to go ahead and hear from William Barnes and James Moreau.
Thanks, Dog. Yeah, my name is Will Barnes. I am. I've actually been running the Solana NYC meetup in New York City. So if you're in New York, like, yeah, definitely hop by. Also,
definitely, man. I'd love to.
Are you in New York?
No, I haven't yet, but I'd love to.
Oh, yeah, you should come. So yeah, me and James Moreau, co-founders, Jet, both of us been in this space for a while. Really got excited about this opportunity to build a lending protocol. Both of us have experience in it, and yeah, we've been having fun with it, and just like taking a chance to really do some innovation and engineering. Yeah, and also I just like this slide right here. So lending for the modern blockchain and modern DeFi user. Solana's different, faster, cheaper. Like everyone knows this or like believes it sort of right here. But like, what does the modern blockchain enthusiast want out of a lender? They want their liquidity now to live off of, manage their positions, market make, for whatever reason they want. Like, it's just like they want it like with simplicity and like just now. And they want liquidity connected to institutional endpoints for day-to-day living. And like in terms of perpetual loans, the standard model that everyone's used to, like we just keep it simple, borrow what you need and keep on flying. And lastly, like they want stake in the protocol, a real governance terminal to enact change, make their voice heard, and steer the protocol. And yeah, we're building just that. We have experience building governance systems before. I worked at Maker. I helped build the governance system there. Basically created the smart contract domain team there. And yeah, these are just like we're rolling all of our experiences doing this into Jet, and yeah, taking like drawing from lessons learned and just other various experiences we had. And frequent flyer miles. Everyone loves frequent flyer miles. They love earning status and getting bumped up to first class. But more on that in just a bit. So far, yeah, we've just been focused on three things: innovation, community, and integration. We think this trifecta is sort of what makes Jet what it is. We wanted to build the best engineering or the best lending protocol we could, and also have build a really good community around it and begin integration with other protocols. And yeah, at the core of this, also we believe that in lending markets will just be heavily commoditized in like 3 months' time. It's just the way it is. Like everything on the blockchain is over collateralized, so like everything's basically a loan to begin with. So liquidity first and something second. I don't know. We'll find out. But robust capital markets is what Jet is all about. And community input is actually a real thing. We actually have a forum where people are discussing and waxing poetic about many different things. You can find us in there, Norman of our team, discussing various different collateral types. So yeah, that's like we made a very serious push into building a community around Jet. So the community is guiding the protocol, providing input, and so forth. And then the integration point is we refactored everything in Anchor. We put a lot of engineering effort into it, changed a lot. And I know a lot of folks have been interested in our API, and our code base was not quite stable, but is stabilizing now. So very keen to share it with everyone and have people take a look at our IDL and see how they can use it, how they can integrate. So yeah, we're ready to integrate very soon. And also, I wanted to take a moment to talk about how we've refactored and redesigned the protocol, because we spent a lot of time on it. Really did a lot of research. Have been seeing what people are building. We've had a lot of input. We refactored a lot of things. Also the point about C tokens, right? Which I don't know. I think they're just vestigial, useless tokens that no one uses. So we just got rid of them altogether and replaced them with PDAs. And also Anchor abstracts away a lot of complexity. And I think anyone who's developing on Solana knows that. But yeah, there's no unlike Ethereum, there's no existing battle tested smart contracts, for better or worse, easy to recycle. Just move real quick. This is just a quick graph. We actually removed the C tokens altogether. We don't have that implementation as part of the protocol. We actually think it makes it more robust because it relies instead on SPL token code. There's less bookkeeping. Actually, Amani talked about this, and we actually took it seriously and implemented it for Jet. And yeah, it's instead of just having a state variable for a user's balance or their debt, you just can go check their token balance and do any conversions on the fly. So cross margining is I know real quick, but cross margining is it's actually quite difficult to do. You can bump into the compute limit when you're refreshing a bunch of collateral types. So we had a slight refactor. We changed it to make it work for us. And we are working on something that would make it a lot easier and sidestep some of these issues, but like it's like it implements new account management patterns. This is more like a V2 feature, but like if you've seen like Mango, they have groups of collateral, and I guess like that's like a very good way to like isolate margining. But like we want to introduce margining for many different assets, and there's a way to do it. It just takes some time to implement and some testing. And also we really like this idea or this concept, this thing we're implementing for Jet, frequent flyer program. I mean, personally, I've been in DeFi for a long time. I worked at Maker. I use it this day for various different things, and I'm loyal to the protocol because I work there, but even though I get no preferred rates. But we are looking to onboard customers who keep flying with this, allowing flyers to get status. So a tiered fee model, you stake, earn status, enjoy the best rates. Protocol can algorithm to give you. Yeah, and just real quick before the demo, why fly with Jet? We're experienced pilots, like me and James Moreau have been around for a while, have a lot of experience in big industry blue chips, heavy focus on technical delivery and customer success. So we want our customers to succeed. We've built and maintained protocols with real DDL. And yeah, our team is very diverse, ranging from TradFi, big tech, with for very relevant experience. And like the destination, capital markets for the DeFi institutional classes. And yeah, do the demo real quick. Everyone is familiar with like your lending protocol. Ours is just like very simplified. It's the whole purpose. We just you deposit your collateral and get the liquidity you need on the spot. And right now we're focused on just Solana and the stables. So right now, for this example, we have Solana and USDC. You can see the cockpit of all this stuff is themed to fit our airline theme. You can deposit your collateral, just deposit just a little bit here. You, once it's deposited, you can come check out your dashboard, see all the relevant stuff for you. You can see your borrowing. We have no borrowing yet, but you can see your deposits. And yeah, we just go ahead and do a borrow here. Unlike Compound, we don't let people double account. So if you deposited Sol, you can't borrow it. But so let's just borrow some USDC. Everyone loves USDC. So yeah, amount deposited, we have 1,300 Solana here. Now we have a $23,000 USDC debt. You can see all our key metrics here. Yeah, of course, if you don't manage your collateralization ratio, you get liquidated, partially liquidated. And yeah, we tried to be like as like nice as we can in liquidations. But yeah, if it starts to get pretty bad, you get totally liquidated. And yeah, for borrowings, you go to repay, you do the classic repay 25%. I think everyone's familiar with this feature here. And yeah, you just repay the whole thing back. And yeah, back to normal. And actually, we have some nice little Easter eggs in here. Light mode, high mode. We also, for our Mandarin-speaking friends, we have localization, which we are very excited about and very excited to soon onboard Mandarin folks and get to know them as customers or just as users of the protocol. Yeah, we have the various wallet implementations, Phantom, my favorite wallet. And I'll just leave everyone with this. Actually, go back to English. And yeah, Copilot, I'll just leave everyone with this, something we're working on right now. And yeah, this is the next step, and anyone can sort of speculate or just come chat with us in the forums about what this means. We would love to talk to you. But yeah, that's Jet. And yeah, we're looking to build deep liquidity for Sol and the stablecoin pairs in the short term. So please come fly with us.
And we're hiring.
And we're hiring, yeah.
Hiring for community managers and white paper coming soon.
Well, cool, guys. I don't personally have any questions that I can think of. I mean, I guess okay. We'll do this. Why are you guys building on Solana? Why Solana?
Well, first for its composability and speed. And I've been in DeFi long enough to know like other blockchains don't really satisfy the needs of institutional market making and like quant trading like customer base, and a lot of the things that in terms of Solana scaling as well, like it's just built to scale. It's I don't know, it's very promising to us, and we just want to scale with it, be fast, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas we have in terms of liquidity and how we like split it up, let it permeate various different areas of the blockchain and external to Solana that are on our roadmap that we're like thinks this just Solana is the best chain for it, and we actually researched all of them and arrived at Solana for that very reason.
That makes sense. You've been walking, now you're ready to run. It's all about that speed.
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I think we better go ahead and move to break and see the next guys. But thank you so much, Will and James. Awesome stuff.
Thanks.
Cool.
All right, guys. We've got Switchboard on board here with us, which is a
How you
community
doing?
curated Oracle network. Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to hear about Switchboard.
Yeah, I'm excited to tell about it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll get started here. My name's Mitch from Switchboard. I am co-founder and CTO, and I'll be walking you through our Oracle ecosystem demo today. Before we get too deep into it, a little bit about myself. I got a master's degree in computer security from University of Michigan. And for the past 4 or 5 years, I have done some security jobs at Google. My first was focused on home network security on the Google Wi-Fi team, focused on the IoT vulnerabilities. And then I led a team on App Engine, focused on secure networking between App Engine and the rest of Google Cloud. And if you want to learn about some really interesting hacks that were historically there, please just message me after. But anyways, it was around this time that myself and some friends got more interested in the blockchain space. Excuse me. And we discovered that Solana was really an up-and-coming chain that had a really high transaction rate and really low cost. And we saw this as really a future of blockchain. So we decided to look into it more and build on it and see what we could actually provide to the community and help this ecosystem grow. And we decided to land on an Oracle ecosystem. We also noticed that oracles traditionally are very focused on financial time series data, and we, for our needs, needed something more generic. So we decided to build something like that out, which brings us to our mission here, which is to bring a decentralized community-curated Oracle network to Solana. And we want to be data type and data source agnostic, and we want to make it as easy as possible to let the community decide what information goes on chain. And we are focused on the breadth of information rather than depth. So let's continue here. There we go. So yeah, I'll be reviewing a 1,000-foot view of our architecture, how to use one of our feeds, and then how easy it is to publish your own feed using Switchboard. Cool. So this is what we currently look like on DevNet and Mainnet. We are live on Mainnet right now. And we have a single Switchboard program that manages about 7 or 8 different account types. The 2 main ones are the aggregator account type and the fulfillment manager account type. The aggregator account type holds information on a number of jobs that should be fulfilled when an aggregator is updated, like getting the BTC USD spot price from Kraken, Binance, Bitfinex, and whatnot. And it also stores the results of all of these jobs when oracles fulfill them. These fulfillment manager jobs or accounts actually control the security and authorization on which off-chain oracles are allowed to respond to an aggregator update request. So no random person running an oracle could just respond some information to a data feed unless the fulfillment manager authority has approved it. So what does it actually look like? Let's say you want to come to Switchboard and look at all of our first-party feeds and say, oh, nothing I want is actually there. You can add, I don't know, Parrot USD, feed for Parrot USD onto, or you can make a data feed for Parrot USD, add a number of jobs to pull the price, link this to a fulfillment manager and call update. And then the job description will be logged and picked up by the oracles. They'll fulfill the job and return the result back to the aggregator and take the median of all those results to make this as least corruptible as possible. So an attacker would need to corrupt at least 51% of the sources to modify what you see on chain. Cool. So our hosted feeds can be found at switchboard.xyz/explorer. And we have an example here on how easy it is to actually call one of our feeds. It's about 3 lines of code. So that's in our example repo, go to a program, go to the source. So we have 2 formats of a feed. We have this format, which is the entire metadata surrounding a feed. Really, it's only 3 lines, and this just captures some errors to get the result of the data feed. We have a 0 copy format as well. That is a bit less wordy, and it only takes about 600 compute units to actually parse this one and get the live price in a feed or live data in a feed. And cool, we could actually watch that run really quickly. I have an example video right here. So we're going to our website where we post a bunch of first-party feeds. We copy the address. We're going to pass that feed into our program and then run it. And then we're going to post a link to the transaction and watch the transaction logs actually populate. I'll give this a minute to finalize here. And at the bottom here, you can see that the BTC USD feed is reporting about $38,000 here. Very simple to use. Let me make this full screen again. All right, now in this next example, we'll talk about posting your own feed. This could be for anything on the internet or something hosted in your private API. We're ubiquitous to any type of information, so we can make anything very easy here. So here we'll post a data feed account and a fulfillment manager account to manage the Oracle security. Run your own Oracle, and then you'll call an update on the feed to bring the information on chain. The example code is right here. Let's review what this actually does. Example 2A, perfect. So what this will do is it will first make an aggregator account that's a child of Switchboard. And then it will make a 0 copy mirror here. It will add a certain job description to the data feed. And in this one, it's just getting the BTC USD spot price. Then it is creating and linking the fulfillment manager to this data feed to manage the Oracle security again. And that is all it does here. So let's actually look at this in action. But instead of getting the BTC USD spot price, let's get the US Olympic gold medal count. So this is a Washington Post API for getting the current Olympic gold medals. And this is something called JSON path syntax for digging into a JSON object and getting a specific field. And here we're getting the USA field where we were getting the gold medal count. So let's post this aggregator onto DevNet. I know DevNet was having some issues this morning, so let's see if they've been recovered. There you go. The aggregators have been posted, the jobs being linked, the fulfillment managers posted, and the authorizations have been updated. So let's copy this into our environment. And then let's run our Oracle. All right, the Oracle is turning up, and it is up. So now let's call update. There we have example 2B right here, and we're going to update the data feed. The Oracle received the job. We see USA gold medals are currently 11, and that is all on chain here in our aggregator account. All right, amazing. It was that easy, that quick to make your own data feed. Now, go ahead, start building. If you want us to support any feed ourselves, just post it in our Discord. We have a whole feed suggestion tab now. And we have a whole getting started guide on all of our documentation. And we are a very quickly growing team. So if you want to join an awesome team that is really passionate, message hiring@switchboard.xyz or message me at Dr. Blocks. So yeah, here's our other contact info, and thank you. Please contact me for any questions you have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I have just one question. I know someone asked it in the chat and it was already answered in the chat, but just for the viewers that are only listening, I wanted to ask, how does Switchboard differ from other Oracle networks?
Yeah, other Oracle networks, I think, are focusing maybe on sub-second speed, while we are focusing on depth of information. We want to collect thousands of data points and make it super easy for any application to integrate with their own APIs within seconds. And if they have some information off-chain, bring more of their infrastructure on-chain. So we're managing a more diverse set of information.
Makes sense. Bullish Solana, I love it. Well, awesome. Is there anything else you guys wanted to share?
I think that's the top of it, but I'm happy to answer any more questions and just message me for anything. I love helping.
Amazing. And you guys are twitter.com/switchboardxyz. That's your
Perfect.
handle for everybody out there.
Perfect.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Apollo DAO here with us. They are a cross-chain yield optimization platform. They are trying to leverage cross-chain and complex DeFi strategies and explore NFT gamification. We have today Bruce and a non-intern in GMI. So we're going to go ahead and hear from them.
How's it going, guys? It's a non-intern from Apollo. We're a multi-chain yield optimization protocol. And for the team, we formed around the Terra and Delphi hackathon. So that's how we originally started. And then we also participated in the last Solana hackathon. So we've kind of been building up some strategies that we can leverage Terra and Solana, as well as using UST. So that's kind of what our main focus is.
Great. And I just really want to kind of initially touch on that and build on what Anon just said. So we are initially launching on Terra, but we will also be launching our platform natively on Solana. And we really feel there's a lot of synergies between these two platforms. You've got Solana delivering a pretty much unrivaled, completely unrivaled chain in terms of throughput, speed, and cost. And really focusing on kind of that high performance blockchain. Whereas on the other side, you've got Terra really focusing on bringing new users to DeFi, giving them a great user experience, and making everything as simple as possible. And kind of connecting those two, you have UST, which is obviously the Terra stablecoin, but has recently been introduced to Solana. And one of our main aims is to really support the growth and expansion of UST across different chains. We really believe that in order to have a successful, robust, and long-term DeFi ecosystem, it needs to be built on a decentralized stablecoin. And that kind of really mitigates a lot of the risks that will be prevalent later on, especially around kind of regulation. So the more we can support that now, the better for both ecosystems long-term. We also feel there is a lot of users that use Solana and that use Terra, but don't use both blockchains. So we feel it to be really the connection between those two, introducing the opportunities available on Solana to the Terra users and the available opportunities on Terra to the Solana users as well. We've just got a quick demonstration of what our platform will look like when we launch natively on Solana. So I'll quickly run through this now.
Welcome to the Apollo DAO demonstration. Today we're going to show you what our front end will look like when we launch on Solana. We've aimed to create a great user experience both for new and veteran crypto users alike. To begin with, we've made it extremely easy to purchase UST for new users. We will also be available both on desktop and mobile at launch, and adding new wallets shortly. When you connect your wallet, you'll be able to see all of the vaults you're currently in, as well as your current value in assets and the APY. When you add a new vault, you'll be taken to a page showing all of the opportunities on Apollo DAO across the Solana blockchain. We'll highlight the best yield opportunities in this top bar and show the rest of the opportunities below. We'll also work with a number of different AMAs to ensure we're always bringing the best yield opportunities to our users. In order to find the vault that you're looking for, you'll be able to use the search bar at the top. In order to enter a vault, we've aimed to make it as easy as possible for our users. You can either enter through the LP token or directly from UST. We'll also highlight exactly where all of the yield is coming from. Making use of Solana's super fast blockchain, you'll be able to enter and exit in vaults in sub-second times. Now you'll be able to see that vault has been added to the My Vaults tab, as well as the value currently in it. When you're ready to leave a vault, simply click on the vault, click withdraw, and again you'll be able to exit into either the LP token or directly straight into UST. Just click the vault balance, click withdraw, and again making use of Solana's super fast blockchain, you'll be able to withdraw in sub-second times and it'll be straight back into your wallet. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Welcome to the Apollo DAO.
Great, sorry about that. So that was just kind of quickly showing some of the things that we will initially be releasing with, but this is kind of really the beginning for us. We're going to continue building on this, building new strategies, and especially with the speed that the Solana ecosystem is growing, the amount of new projects that are releasing pretty much on a daily basis, we really feel that we can continually add new opportunities and keep bringing the best yields to our users. We're also going to really focus on the user experience. So we're going to have, like I mentioned, mobile first in terms of how you can access Apollo. So this is a screenshot of what our mobile first will look like on Terra, but it will also be similar on Solana as well. And I think really kind of breaking into those new markets, this is something that really sets kind of some of these newer blockchains apart. And there's a lot of users that are looking to enter cryptocurrency or DeFi that don't have access to desktops and could really benefit from a lot of these tools being straight to their mobile phone. In terms of our roadmap, we're beginning with our auto compounding pools, but moving on from there, we'll be looking to introduce more complex strategies, but also really looking into the gamification features. One of the first areas of this will be our NFT boosters. So you'll be able to boost your yields across all your vaults or in specific vaults with specific NFTs. And we'll be looking at ways that we can continue integrating this into the platform. I think one of the real benefits of something like Solana and Terra over some of the other chains with more expensive fees is some of these kind of smaller transactions or gamification features can become impossible to do. So we'll really look on focusing those. Long term, it'll be really around maintaining this great user experience and being kind of the center of both the Solana and the Terra ecosystem, and integrating other projects and other partnerships into our platform. So in terms of if you're looking to reach out to us, our Twitter is @ApolloDAO. We're always looking for new people to either join our community. So we're going to be running a number of competitions, so keep an eye on Twitter for that. But also in terms of the developer space, we have a relatively large team, but always looking to take on new talent. So if you're a developer, especially focusing on Solana, we'd be very interested to speak to you. So please feel free to reach out to our Twitter and we will manage to get back to you as soon as possible. That'll be really kind of around the back ends for Solana.
That was really slick, guys. I've got a question for you that's maybe not too traditional, but something that's always interesting to me is how DAOs are formed, and I'd love to hear about your guys' origin story. How did you kind of where did the idea come from? How did you guys come together and start this?
So yeah, it originally I guess started when UST was released. That was when I really started personally looking into using Terra and UST. I was just really interested in stable coins, so was kind of going through all that, found Terra, started using the applications, and I kind of just really liked them. So then I was kind of just using that stuff and started following a bunch of people on Twitter that were a part of Luna. From there, I actually was like, I did like a 2 or 3 week internship at Delphi, and then the hackathon
Nice.
came up. Yeah, so I had actually found them through Luna, because like I basically found out who they were because they were one of the Luna investors, and I had looked up everyone that we kind of had that was like that Luna had. So that's kind of how I got there. Then the hackathon came out, and I'd been like a DeFi user since like 2017 probably, and I just saw like a kind of an opportunity to build a lot of DeFi stuff, but I wasn't necessarily sure what exactly to build. So the idea was to form, I guess, the DAO first, and then kind of let the idea develop on its own. So we're starting with the auto compounding pools, but I also want to create a lot of other tools, like almost like software services for DAOs, because I'm just like a big proponent of the DAO, and maybe not like the exact fully decentralized autonomous whatever, but I just think that it's the easiest way to coordinate, and then using like the token layers on top to incentivize stuff. So it kind of just makes a lot of sense to me. So I entered the idea and then kind of just started connecting with people through Hackathon, Twitter, Discord. So it's kind of all a bunch of Terra users, but I use every chain. So I use Ethereum, I use Solana, I use Terra. So it's kind of just like what I like to do. So it's kind of how the whole thing started.
Cool. Awesome. I appreciate that little background. That's always fun to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything else you guys want to share with the audience?
I think that was it from us, unless there's any questions anyone has.
Mostly people are just saying it looks slick. I haven't found any pressing questions yet.
Yeah,
So
that's shout out to
that's
Rooks.
awesome.
He's our UI designer, and he's also one of our founders. So he does a lot of that graphic work that you guys saw in like the pitch deck and all that stuff. So he does really good work.
That's awesome. Really smooth. Well, cool guys. Thank you so much for coming on, and for everyone looking for them on Twitter, it's Apollo DAO, APOLLO DAO DAO. We're going to go ahead and have the next guys on. Thank you so much, Anon, Intern, and Bruce.
Thank you for having us. Great to be on.
All right, we're back here with Boring Protocol. They are a P2P, peer-to-peer, sorry, I don't need to say P2P, bandwidth market, and DVPN, what's with the abbreviations? I'm so sorry, guys, built on Solana. So we're gonna go ahead and hear from, I think starting with Warren, we also have Francisco and Destro on.
How's it going, guys?
It's going great, it's going great.
Good. So yeah, thanks for having us today. We are a couple of different members. We actually have 22 core members across 8 different countries. We all have emphasis in network engineering, security, databases, and distributed network architecture. And then socially, we've got something like 3,700 members on our Discord. Was it 33,000 Twitter followers and a pretty good record of delivering solutions on time. So what we came to talk about today is a new way to look at virtual private networks and distributed virtual private networks. So today we wanted to start off kind of by asking ourselves and also explaining to everyone why Solana. And we think because Solana needs us, that there's no actual blockchain-based VPN operating permissionlessly. All this other, everything else that has been or is currently on the marketplace relies on some form of centralization. If somebody wanted to take it down, or for example, if a provider is asked for logs, that provider exists. In our protocol, that provider is the Solana blockchain and our hardware offers. So the Solana program library has allowed us to decentralize a whole bunch of different, commonly used VPN services that are deployed today. We think that there's a need because there's a disconnect between users and node operators on various privacy-oriented networks. There's no real financial incentive to host or responsibly use the service. It's kind of a free-for-all, right? Our research and development really kind of proved that Solana could manage the various tasks and requirements needed to deliver an alternative solution to internet services, meaning we could use Solana to assist others in proxying data across, suppressive governments or firewalls that may not agree with your point of view. Our team approach to engaging evil censorship lords was to create a network inside of a network, offering the ability to relay and exit while earning passive revenue for network node operators. We also wanted to bring up DeFi. Our position is that DeFi, as it changes the landscape, has a weakness where the spigot can be turned off, meaning the .com can be removed. We see a future where these different DeFi and blockchain organizations interface with us directly on our protocol, meaning that we don't ever actually use the internet. Anything being sent or received is completely secure from prying eyes of suppressive governments or firewalls. You just don't really need to worry about it. The coolest part is that anyone can host RPC services and proxy onto these public chains for pretty much anything that they want, from video or any other types of services. I think today we're going to go through our demo. You want to go ahead, Destro?
All right.
Get fired up.
I'm ready.
Let me see. I got to see your screen here, bud. Okay, well, I can't see your screen, but whatever, we'll go through it. So what we're gonna do today is show a desktop computer. So at the moment we're signed in on his local ISP with a LAN cable. And what we're gonna do today is show that right now he's sourcing through his internet connection from the local IP address. So you wanna go ahead and do that, Distro?
It's done.
Okay, cool. So, we have a link that's, oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
is that what's going on?
I didn't realize. Hold on. He's more important than me.
I am the one sharing the screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. We're good, Narf.
I don't see your screen though, but oh well, let's just keep going. Oh, now I got it. Cool. So yeah, so we've got here his local connection. And now what we are going to do is we're going to access a web link. Now, we do want to stress, right, that just because we're showing you that this works for this website doesn't mean that you should do it. And that we don't condone using or accessing any resources outside of their authorized jurisdiction. In fact, this protocol hacking is for sure for educational purposes. And we definitely want to warn you that your usage of our protocol is your responsibility. So you go hopping firewalls and doing your thing, you're taking responsibility for that. So let's go ahead and cruise over to Bonfida. So obvious, right? Access is denied. We don't, what are we going to do, right? So now what we're going to do is we are going to We still have our IP here. We're going to go ahead and connect to our hardware. Now, this little hardware is a Raspberry Pi. It's running some, firmware that we've written. It's going to be freely distributed on our, IHO. But in the future, we think that it's going to be a client and a couple other things. So that's the IP address there. Now, what we want to do is we want to refresh now that we've connected to the boring node and disconnected the LAN. Go ahead and disconnect your LAN too. Cool. So go ahead and refresh. Kabow. So suddenly we're actually coming out of Brazil. So let's now, with our new super cool boring tunnel, check out our aforementioned Now, remember, we're going from, the middle of the United States down into Brazil and then back up into infrastructure. I'm not really sure where Bonefeed is hosted, but it doesn't really matter because we just definitely hopped their geo restrictions. So go ahead. We'll show FTX as well, just for fun. Hi, Sam. I wish I could put a question mark behind that. And so I think that we've done a pretty good job here at showing that our techniques and data protocol manipulation and optimization lead to the ability for people to, in suppressive governments or other types of regimes, firewalls, workplace firewalls, stuff like that, get past them with a small piece of hardware that is inexpensive and actually makes you or earns you passive income. So just because FTX is slow, it's no big deal. It is what it is. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to move on to the actual hardware interface. So the hardware interface, excuse me, the hardware interface is at the moment, we don't think really simple, but it's kind of lean, we would call it. Go ahead and just click through it. So we've got a whole bunch of different options: setting up your network Wi-Fi, entering your wallet exit node address, entering what type of node you want to be, what type of connected wallets you have, and then, sorry. And then we've got some type of statistics on, data usage, and, we'll be adding counters and stuff like that. We wanted to move into, after this, the roadmap. So our roadmap at the moment is we're planning to release our IHO, our hardware piece of device, for pre-order in mid-August. But the lack of availability given COVID and all the different hardware constraints, we're actually going to probably more so be releasing a firmware compatible with people who can get Raspberry Pis, as well as a software client for major types of operating systems. We'd like to see at least 5 to 6 major providers of blockchain validators join our network, and currently we're working with a few today. Seeing as today, we've introduced a new alternative network. And this alternative network, we call it an alternate, right? Has the ability to offer services that you find on like the internet, right? Like distributed DNS and domain registration services. So we plan to offer an initial support for using .boring TLDs as well as .sol TLDs, both with some more support for emojis. So right now we're looking for people who are interested in becoming DNS or domain registrars on the boring protocol and collecting the revenue associated with the services that they provide. So that means that actually, as of, I don't know, probably a few weeks from now, you'll be able to use your .sol domain for something actually in real life. So you're welcome for that. We also wanted to talk about adding support to our clients for direct file sharing via Arweave. For those of you who don't know, Arweave is a solution for the perma-web and is very compatible with Solana. The team is currently looking at potential serum markets for a BOP to Arweave token so we can seamlessly fund your perma-web file share securely. We also wanted to mention that we have got at the moment several Solana job postings. So if you're a Rust badass or you have something else that you feel like you desperately need to contribute, come onto our Discord and holler at us. So yeah, hack the planet, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, guys. I think we're running a little late for questions, but appreciate the whole overview and the demo. It's awesome. I love the idea of blockchain VPN. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Wear your pit vipers next time.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll be sure and find them. I'm sorry.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Cheers, guys. Keep building.
Later. Bye. Thanks.
All right, we're back with Nina. This is a self-publishing and distribution protocol for musicians. We're going to be hearing from Michael Pollard today. Michael, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, I'm also here with Eric.
Hi. We're going to
Hey,
do
Eric.
hi there. Thanks for having us. We're going to do a quick intro before we dive in, show you guys what we're working on. So Mike and I are the founders as well as the developers of Nina. This is the rest of the team. We've all spent a big part of our lives in the music world, and that's where we all met. We come from backgrounds running record labels, playing shows, attending Napster hearings, and being fans. We've worked alongside big acts and little acts and have experienced the problems of the music world firsthand.
Let's go back a bit. 20 years ago, the music industry was not prepared for the internet. In 1998, music industry's revenue is at its all-time high. On June 1st, 1999, Napster goes live, music is online, and the music industry tanks. It took 16 years to stop the bleeding. Spotify and the streaming services are those green bars on the right. Eventually, the music industry embraced the internet and deals were struck between big labels and big tech. The new streaming model complicates how the pie is cut, and artists get the smallest piece. We can look at numbers and data, or we can just listen to Daniel Ek, the founder of Spotify. He says, Spotify's problem was this: piracy and music distribution. The problem was not to pay people money. And so 15 years later, artists are not getting paid. Spotify and the music industry would like to have you think that purchasing music is a thing of the past. And so smaller artists are expected to use the same tools that only create a profit for the most successful. What if there was a tool that worked for everyone? That's Nina.
On a high level, Nina is a robust Web3 protocol that allows artists to take back ownership of their material in the digital realm. Nina gives artists full control over distribution. That means transparent revenue splits so that bandmates, producers, managers, and whoever worked on something get paid out immediately after every sale. No more spreadsheets, no more waiting. Nina collects 0 fees on artist primary sales and additionally provides a secondary market where fans can resell their purchases. Tokenized albums can be made redeemable for merch, whether that means records, t-shirts, stickers, or anything else. Owning an album on Nina doesn't just give a fan the ability to listen to music. Every album they own includes them in an explicit community of supporters. We give artists the tools to reward those supporters with gated access to exclusive content, early access to ticket sales, or any behavior the artist desires.
Others are trying to fix the streaming problem too. We've been collecting live sales data from Bandcamp, and over the last 10 days, fans have spent more than $2.8 million in 352,000 individual sales. That includes digital albums, digital singles, and physical records. There's a long tail here. Over 225,000 of those artists just made one sale during that period. But as far as fees are concerned, Bandcamp and PayPal cleaned up. They took over $500,000, 18%. We've built Nina for artists with less than 20,000 fans. These are artists with active communities who are looking for alternatives to Web2 platforms. We're offering them a tool that takes near zero fees and allows them direct access to their listeners. Their incentivization to use and promote the protocol will lead to initial adoption. Before Web3 and Solana, it wasn't possible to make tools like this that scale down as well as scale up. We think a solution that works for artists like this will work for artists of any size. Since March, we've been onboarding artists and have over 100 that are looking forward to using Nina when we launch. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to give them a private beta so that we can fine-tune the publishing flow, but we'll show that to you now.
So Mike's going to drive and I'm going to walk you guys through what's going on. Right now, we're connecting to an account as an artist that has used Nina before. So I land on my dashboard. These are releases that I own as well as releases that I've published. We go over to the right to check if we have any uncollected royalties. We've got 75 bucks sitting right there. So snatch that real quick and you can see the balance immediately reflected in the top right. Now we're going to upload a track. This process should be familiar to anyone who has published content online. On Nina, an artist has full control over the distribution of their release. They choose how many copies of an album are available, as well as its price, and the amount that they receive of each resale on the secondary market. An artist doesn't pay any fees to publish on Nina, and they still receive 100% of primary sales. A DAO-governed vault collects 1.25% of each edition published. In this case, that's 13 copies. The files uploaded here are sent to a Nina pressing plant node. A pressing plant node processes and prepares the audio for streaming and makes delegated payment to Arweave for storage. The node operator receives Nina governance token for their work, and the files are now permanently stored on Arweave. After publishing, an artist can further configure their release. They can make it redeemable for a physical good, or they can add a collaborator to share revenue with via Twitter handle, thanks to Bonefita's name service. So we're shooting, looks like 20% over. So we're going to switch gears here, and now we're going to go through the user story of what it's like to hit Nina as a fan for the first time. First things first, we're going to make a new account on Phantom. And as you can see, this user has no SOL, no USDC, no crypto at all. We're going to connect and we're going to search our favorite band, DJ Nina, by their Twitter handle. And we're going to see that they have a new release. This is the track that we uploaded a couple seconds ago. We really want to hear it, so we try to buy it with $5 USDC, but we don't have any. Luckily, we can use a credit card. The transaction cost is a tiny bit higher, but the convenience is worth it. The fan now has self-custody of an on-chain asset without ever hitting an exchange. So now the track is added to our collection. Oh.
I think it's a little slow going up to Arweave, but we can do that with one of these other tracks that are already up.
So that's like some basic functionality that we've been working on. Now Mike's going to walk you guys through our roadmap.
So we just finished an internal audit of our programs, and in the next couple of weeks, we're going to launch some redeemable tokenized merch using them so we can test them in the wild. As I said, we've been onboarding artists and we're going to deliver them that private beta. And then we're hoping to launch by the end of the summer. And that involves open sourcing our programs so that artists, labels, and devs can build on top of Nina. In 2022, we'll see the launch of the governance token and protocol incentives. As I showed you, as you could see earlier, I guess, we're a pretty lean team. It's just Eric and I on development, Jack on A&R, and Rebecca on design. So we're looking for people to join, particularly backend and distributed systems dev who wants to help with the pressing plant, and especially mobile and front-end devs who are ready to question the assumptions of existing crypto UX and help bring Web3 to the masses. That's pretty important because we are making blockchain-based service with intended users that don't necessarily care at all about crypto. So we got to make the experience as easy as possible for them.
That's amazing.
You can reach out to us, Twitter web, email, GitHub.
Wow, thanks, guys. I love it when people are bringing the no coiners on board. That's really, really awesome.
Yes, sir.
I did have one question from the crowd. Someone asked, how will the credit card fiat on-ramp work?
Yeah, so we've kind of built like a delegated payment node, and that kind of hits our programs and checks to see that the delegate can complete that transaction, and then it does a pre-payment of the credit card, and then it runs the Solana transaction, and if that completes successfully, then it goes through with the credit card payment.
Okay, that's not too crazy. All right, nice. Okay, then I guess I just have one last question. This is more of a general, but it's, whatever you guys, feel like you're personally facing as far as challenges go. What are, some of these greatest hurdles to get mainstream users on? What are you guys worried about? What do you guys think you're gonna have to work really hard at?
It's definitely the on-ramps and dealing with all the kind of obfuscation that like crypto learning involves. We think that you can bring the value of crypto to people without making them even realize that they're using it. And then maybe kind of when they're ready, they'll dip their toes in, but that you shouldn't have to kind of read a bunch of blogs and websites and spend all day on Twitter to be able to like receive the value that Web3 can offer anybody. So that kind of credit card payment, and also kind of improved wallet UX, bringing things to mobile, to the place where people listen to their music. Yeah, exactly. And it's really just kind of being cognizant of the fact that there's probably a lot of patterns in crypto that are formed by crypto native people, and that there's going to be, you really need to make a bridge to the non-crypto native to find out what the UX patterns of the future will be.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love that you guys are thinking about all those things as you're building this out. That's really, really great.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guys. Thank you so much, Nina Market.
Thanks.
Going to be checking you guys out myself on Twitter. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right. Last but not least, we have Soteria. I may have said that incorrectly, but Kento is about to correct me if I did. So we're going to go ahead and hear from Kento and Ami. Take it away.
Hi. Hey, thanks for intro. My name is Kento. I'm founder of Soteria. Soteria is an algorithmic stablecoin backed 100% by a delta neutral position. I think delta neutral is not a word that you hear often. Delta neutral is basically a spot position and a short perpetual swap position combined to create a position that is not influenced by price movements of BTC. So, you have a long spot position, a short perpetual swap position. So it doesn't matter if the price of BTC goes up or down, you're still pegged to the dollar. So that's how we peg the stablecoin to the USD. So let me talk about like the problems that current stablecoins face, and it's basically the stablecoin trilemma problem. And the stablecoin trilemma problem is that there is no stablecoin currently out there that is decentralized, stable, and capital efficient. There are stablecoins that fulfill 2 out of these 3. For instance, like say Tether or USDC, they are stable and capital efficient, but they're not decentralized. And then you have other stablecoins, algo stablecoins, which are decentralized and capital efficient, but they're not stable. And so it's very difficult to create a stablecoin that solves all 3 of these problems. And we think that USDS will be the first stablecoin that solves this problem. So first of all, USDS is non-custodial and trustless. We will connect with a derivative DEX on Solana so that we do not take custody of user assets, and it will be trustless. It will be stable because of arbitrage between the Soteria and exchanges in which USDS is listed. So if there's any price difference, people can arbitrage and make a risk-free profit. So it will be pegged to $1. It is also capital efficient in that you can always issue 1 USDS with $1 USD worth of assets. So $1 worth of BTC or SOL or any other asset, you can always issue 1 USDS. And you can always redeem 1 USDS for $1 worth of assets. So we think that USDS is the solution to the problems that current stablecoins face. The stablecoin market, as you guys are probably aware of, is very big. It's a $114 billion market cap right now, and it trades $50 billion per day. So basically, if Soteria is able to get a large portion of the market, it has a lot of potential and to become a really big thing over the next several years. And we get this question a lot of when the token is going to be issued. The governance token, we can't really say when we will release it, but our testnet will be released in September and mainnet in October for the stablecoin. So you'll be able to start issuing USDS very soon. And we also have several exciting announcements in August. I think you guys will love this because it's kind of funny and just interesting. So stay tuned. We have our website and our Twitter, Discord, and Medium out, and we have a pretty big community. So check it out. And now I will go right into the demo. So the demo is custodial. I mean, the actual product released in October will be non-custodial, but the demo will be custodial. So let me just get right in and show you how it will be like. Okay, so this is this is a dashboard, and this is my account. I have $3,856, and the funding rate will be paid out to USDS holders. So if you own USDS, you will receive the funding rate. And currently, we're setting it at 5%, but it will obviously fluctuate based on what the funding rate is. But what's cool about this is that users don't have to do anything. You can just hold on to USDS and receive interest without doing anything. And so this is like this new stable coin where you receive yield without doing anything. So let's get right into it. You can convert any of these assets into USDS. So let's try BTC. So let's say you want to convert 0.01 BTC, which is roughly $400, which is roughly 400 USDS. You can convert this just by clicking submit here. Right, and that is it. And now you have the BTC is converted into USDS. Right now for the demo, it's in locked balance, but the actual product will be converted instantly, and your USDS balance will increase by 400 USDS instantly. And so as you can see, you can issue 400 USDS with $400 worth of BTC. And it's the other way around, where if you have USDS, you can redeem it for any of these assets. And let's do 200. It could be BTC or any other asset. It could be USDC. And you could just do this and Right. So yeah, that's it. Basically, you can convert USDS into any other asset at any point in time. And basically, we will support every asset that is listed on the derivative DEX on Solana. We will integrate with Mango Markets in the beginning, but we will integrate with several derivative DEXs. And basically, you will be able to convert almost any asset into USDS. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Awesome, Kento. Thanks so much for that. All right, so Kento, there's a lot of algorithmic stablecoins out. Clearly, you are doing something pretty clever with the whole delta neutral positions. I like that. Yeah, I mean, this might. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Why did you choose Solana?
Okay, good question. So Solana is very fast and very cheap, as you are aware. And since it's very cheap and very fast, the arbitrage between our application and between exchanges, like it can be on Serum, for instance, can be done very efficiently. So everyone can arbitrage between it very quickly and very cheaply, so that USDS will be pegged more closely to the dollar than if we issued it on other platforms.
Makes sense. Okay, all right, so we've got a few more hardball questions. How often is the position rebalanced to delta neutral? Does the low transaction cost of Solana allow for a near constant rebalance, or is there something else going on there?
Actually, the delta neutral position doesn't really require rebalancing, because the collateral will always be mark to market. So it doesn't really require rebalancing. There is some technical things that require us to rebalance, but it will be very, very infrequent. I would say the price has to increase by, like, say 300 to like 400% for us to rebalance. And so it will be very, very infrequent.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. Well, okay, so a few people are wondering, okay, well, how do things change when the funding turns negative?
Right. Good question. So we will create an insurance fund. And basically, when the funding rate is negative, the insurance fund will pay out the negative interest. And when the funding rate is positive, that positive funding rate will be distributed to USDS holders.
Okay, that makes sense. Wow, so many questions. All right, someone wanted to know why governance. What kind of governance are you guys looking to build in there?
Right. So the governance token will have two main features. One is obviously the governance, where you will be able to vote on proposals. So you will be able to vote on, say, which derivative DEX to integrate with, which asset to include as the delta neutral position. You can vote on that kind of thing. And also, part of the funding rate will also go to the governance token holders. So the funding rate will basically be distributed among three players. It will be the USDS holders, the insurance fund, and the governance token holders. And the governance token holders will be able to vote on how much of the funding rate will be distributed back to the governance token holders.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I think I'm going to hit you with just one last question. There were so many good ones. From Gizmesh, he's asking, what would be the composition of the insurance fund?
Good question. We think we'll first start with USDC.
Okay, yeah, it's not crazy. A lot of people are curious about, and what is your feelings on UST versus USDC, that sort of thing. A lot of people are asking about that.
Right. So I try not to be negative on other algo stablecoins or on other stablecoins, because I think just talking negatively about other projects is not really nice. Basically, USDC is centralized. So USDC is very stable. It's also capital efficient, but it's not decentralized. So you have the regulatory risk always at risk. With UST, so I'm assuming you're talking about the Terra UST.
Yes, I believe so.
Basically, my understanding is that it's backed by the Luna token, the governance token of Luna. And to issue one UST, you need $1 worth of Luna tokens. And when you want to redeem the 1 UST, you need it's redeemed for the $1 worth of Luna tokens, which I think is very interesting, and it's also very capital efficient. Also preserves the decentralization aspect. But I do think there is a tail risk in which if the Luna token goes to 0, then the UST is not backed, which I think is a risk.
Definitely a risk.
I'm not like that knowledgeable about UST, so I'm pretty sure they have a better answer for what to do in that kind of circumstance. But that is my current understanding.
Cool. I get how I get why you're building what you're building. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, there's a million more questions, so you're gonna need to host your own podcast or live stream to answer all these questions.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, Kento. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next time, I bet.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So this concludes our Solana season demo day. I had a lot of fun. This was really cool for me. I had a really enjoyable time, and I hope everyone else had a great time as well. We had a lot of really great projects on. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick summary from beginning to end. We heard from Defi Land, a multi-chain agriculture simulation game. Looked really cool. Slope Finance, a mobile DEX, and so much more. They're building a ton of stuff. I'm excited to try them too. Francium, or Francium, is a leveraged yield aggregator built on Solana. We also had All Art Protocol, bringing constant liquidity and embedded license rights to the NFT space. After that, we had UNQ, which was a platform for NFT collectors designed to help them build communities, fundraise, and operate NFTs across blockchains. We also had Sonar Watch, which was a yield farming and liquidity pool performance tracker. There were a lot of fans in the audience. Clearly, a lot of people using that product. We also had Jet Protocol, and they bring competitive borrowing and lending to Solana. I believe they're a Sino global portfolio project. I think Matt said something like that. I hope I'm not wrong about that. We have Switchboard, which was a community curated Oracle network on Solana. We also had Apollo DAO, a cross-chain yield optimization platform using Terra and Solana with a hella slick interface. It was very smooth. We got the Boring Protocol guys, and they're building a decentralized VPN on Solana. Stay private. Awesome. Then we had Nina, a self-publishing and distribution protocol for musicians, which is really cool progress in bringing Web3 to the masses. And last but not least, we had Kento on with Soteria, an algo stablecoin taking advantage of delta neutral positions on derivatives. So all in all, that was awesome. I had such a good time, and I hope you guys found this as informative, as interesting as I did. Cheers.